And what hitting that wall, what pressing on. God, I found that right then, what pressing on really was. And once I realized what pressing on really was, and how to press on until you get what you want, what you need in the Lord. I found out what pressing on really is all about. That's what it takes. That's what it takes to serve the Lord.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Not lip service. It's not a good feeling.
Right.
It's that pressing on till you get that filled up. That filled up where you're overflowing. There's enough of God to go around for everybody. There's enough of God for too much for everybody. You can't contain all that God has in store for us. If you want it, if you want this feeling, if you want more of Him, if you want the Holy Ghost, you want Him, and you don't know for sure if you've got Him or not, press on.
Yes.
Keep pressing until you know that you got Him. There's no other feeling like it. I took down a few notes while we were in there. Then some of the highlights, I just reduced it down to some of the highlights of what really stood out to me. I don't remember which man got up and said what, because I didn't catch all of his names. Didn't see the name tag on where we're at. But one of the first things the preacher said was the measure of your calling is dependent on who's doing the calling.
Right.
Who's calling you? Who's calling each and every one of us in here today? What measure of calling are you listening for? Second thing that I took away from that, I don't remember who said it. God calls first, then He qualifies later. He calls you first. I've always said you got to catch a fish before you clean it. That right there. God calls first, then He qualifies later. I went up there. I was a mess. Brother Steve. At the time, I thought I knew something. I got up there and I didn't know nothing. I didn't know up from down. I didn't know beans when I got up there. All these men come marching out from the prayer room and circled us. God, I feel the Holy Ghost right now. These men come out. They took their time. The Lord knows how many times they fasted for me.
Right.
Lord knows how many times they called out my name, not even knowing me like Jesus called out my name. No telling. What an overwhelming feeling to have brotherly love that strong and the anointing that they have there. A leader knows, a leader goes, and a leader shows the way. It's another thing we said. A leader knows, a leader goes, and a leader shows. This whole weekend was a call to leadership.
Yes, hallelujah.
Brother Steve has got a church. Brother Steve, Sister Rachel, they've got a church. They've got a thrift store. There are leaders. But if we're going to stand back here and drag our feet and hinder this spirit and hinder them doing their thing, we're dragging them down. Each and every one of us have got to man and lady up and take on the responsibility of what God has for us to lead and help them with their ministry through God. That's what this whole thing was about. Everybody has a leadership role of some kind. The fourth thing that I took away from this, when you're fearless, your opposition fears you. How do we get fearless? I think y'all went through this class about the whole armor of God. A warrior that's fearless has on a whole armor of God. When we're fearless, our opposition fears us because he knows we're ready for battle. We need this. He knows that he's not going to tear us down and come against us.
Right.
I tell you what, I wouldn't have missed this with Lord. I didn't know what to expect. But I went with an open heart and an open mind.
Hallelujah.
I found out how to press through. It's not always what I want to do. Sometimes it's miserable. Pressing through. Sometimes it's miserable and you're thinking, why now, God? Why are you doing this to me now? But it's not God. If you'll press on through, you'll see the glory of God. You'll see God. You'll see God. And it'll be worth every second. It'll be worth every breath that you take to press on through.
Amen.
If I didn't take nothing else from this transition period, alright, I can press through.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Sister Rachel, the church, for making a way. God, for making a way for me to go this weekend. Because it has really blessed my heart. I tell you what, I want to take it up a step further. I want to commit myself. I told the Lord this while I was at her praying one time. I want to commit myself more than Him to help you in your ministry. And you know, commitment, 90% commitment really depends not only on how you carry yourself and how you do, but it's also accountability. 90% commitment is accountability. I'm shaking in my shoes right now because that word in itself is a huge word. You get accountable before the Lord, that puts a spotlight on you, puts a microscope on you. The Lord, I found that the Lord don't take garbage. He holds you accountable for stuff. If you go up for Him, He's perfect. He don't see imperfection. Thank God He saw a beautiful mess in me and give me the opportunity to learn from what little bit I did learn from this transformation. I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Praise the Lord.